Hello, everybody, and welcome to the VGRCast, the weekly podcast where we talk about anything and everything in between. As always, my name's Kevin. I am joined by my lovely friends Ryan, Monica, Mike, and Steve.
I'm gonna punch you in the ribs.
We punched Kevin in the ribs on this one.
We were just talking about how we're talking about Kenny G.
How could you mistake that for a clarinet?
No, I'm not saying I mistake it for a clarinet. I didn't say he was a clarinet guy. I just said that what was that with soprano sax?
Soprano sax.
The soprano sax looks a little bit like a clarinet.
I'm gonna punch you in the ribs.
All right, okay. In all fairness, being a brass guy, I would have had no fucking idea that that was a saxophone.
I knew it was a saxophone, but I can see the argument
Mike.
Why it looks like a clarinet. Also, aren't
Mike.
the fingers, the whole point is the fingerings are pretty much the same, which is why clarinets have an easy time transitioning to saxophone, so...
Yes, except the soprano sax has the exact same fingering as every other saxophone.
Saxophone.
The clarinet does not. I'm gonna punch you in the ribs, Kevin.
No, Mike, I know they're different instruments, but they look the same. Hello, everybody.
I'm gonna punch you in the fucking ribs.
Ooh, Mike, you may have to punch A alphabet in the ribs because they say the sax is terrible.
Oh, got
As long
him.
as they
A
didn't
true
mistake it for
believer.
a fucking clarinet. Fuck the clarinet. It's bullshit. You gotta cover fucking holes over the keys instead of fucking pressing down the keys. The sax is better. Fuck you. I'm gonna punch you in the ribs.
I play tuba.
That is
Congrats.
Faye, isn't it?
I'm gonna punch you through the tuba in the ribs.
Hi, Faye.
Oh, Faye!
Oh, hey, Faye.
What's up, girl?
I play cello, so whatever, man. Okay, so for anyone
You play a string
For anyone
instrument.
that doesn't know, this is a clarinet. Very lovely. That's a clarinet. And this is a soprano sax.
Totally different.
One's gold and one's black.
Faye, you don't
yes,
count. You
totally
play like
different.
20 instruments.
Nah, they look the same.
Totally different.
They have the same shape. The
Not
same yes. Look at the difference, Mike.
Not at all.
Look at
Completely
stream. Look at me flipping back and forth, man.
different. Totally different.
They look very similar.
100% different.
No, they're not 100%
Side by side,
different.
Kevin.
Kevin, I'm going to take that clarinet and smack you in the ribs with it.
Mike, Mike, I'm
I
just
think the
open your
I think
eyes,
the
man. They
saxophone
look
would hurt
similar.
more.
They would. Yeah, the
Yes, but I
saxophone's more like
wouldn't
a
hit
club.
him with the saxophone because I owe the saxophone more respect than the clarinet.
I owe the saxophone
Shit,
very
clarinet's
little
being
respect.
fucking called out here.
Yeah, because it's bullshit. It's only useful for the first note of Rhapsody in Blue.
Oh my god.
That's a musical reference that only a few people are gonna get.
No, I've seen Fantasia 2000. You fucking kidding me?
But objectively,
Yes, you are all musical people. That's why you get it.
objectively,
No,
the saxophone is still terrible.
I saw Fantasia 2000 well before I ever touched an instrument.
Good. You are cultured. Unlike some fuck who thinks that a clarinet looks like a saxophone.
Well, I also think it looks like a saxophone.
Well, now I'm gonna punch you in the ribs, Steve.
I'm turning Mike's volume down just a
Coming in
hair.
hot. I'm coming in hot.
He's not even drunk.
Oh. And we
I'm not
broke
even
Monica.
drunk yet. I'm coming in hot. You
Monica's
made me do
broken.
this. Why did you make me do this? Look what you made me do.
Objectively, the saxophone is still terrible, though.
Objectively, I'm going to punch you in the ribs.
Monica's broken. She sounds like a wheezing trumpet.
The saxophones don't even have pizzas.
No, we have pineapples.
Ugh. There was a long-running joke in our marching band that one day during band camp, there's the first day of band camp, our section leader ordered everyone pizza, and we took a break to eat it. And we the way we ate it was we all took pizza, we're standing up, and we're just eating it, watching the saxophones practicing.
I remember that, you motherfucker.
We were just sitting there eating pizza, watching the saxophones, going, saxophones don't even have pizza. And thus started the rivalry that only we were really in on.
Yeah. Now I'm really gonna punch you in the ribs.
Uh,
Oh my
That was funny.
goodness. Woodward?
So we talked last week about doing TED Talks or
VGR Talks.
Yeah, VGR Talks, where we talk
VGR
really
lecture.
passionately about a topic.
VGR
came
talks
up-
or V talks?
Oh my
VTalk.
god.
VE talk?
V-Talks is
No,
too generic, so VGR talk.
VGR Talks where it fits better because TED is 3 letters and VGR is 3 letters.
Before you continue,
But it's not even
I would-
based on TED Talks.
I'd just like to give a shout out to Skullfar for giving me a follow while I was off stream. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Okay, Steve, go on.
So I came up with a couple of topics. One is politics in Star Trek, because everyone's just like, there's no politics in Star Trek. No, there's plenty of politics in Star Trek. One being the
Who the
episode.
fuck- Don't go too far into your rant yet, dude.
No,
because-
I've
I
only
can
got.
answer what Monica's question is going to be.
I've only got one episode. Well, I've got notes on one episode right now, and it's the drugs are bad MK episode.
I can
like-
answer what Monica's question is about to be.
What's the question?
What is
I'm
my
assu-
question? Can you
I'm
read
assuming
my
you
mind?
were going. I'm assuming you were going to say who the fuck thinks Star Trek was not political.
Right wingers is the answer. Was that going to be your answer, Mike?
The answer was more. I was going to be more generic and say people who don't agree with Star Trek's politics.
Wingers.
But yeah,
There are right wingers who watch Star Trek, but don't seem to see how it's ideologically opposed to their worldview. But that's a topic for another day. But there are lots of. But it's going to take me forever to watch that much Star Trek because I would
Yes.
be planning on covering the
it's
entire.
like 300 episodes of stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna watch all of that, but like I'd be trying getting like a few good ones from like the original series with like the half black half white guy and that versus the half white half black guy, which is like
What?
and then they both die.
maybe I don't know. It was
It is
was-
ambiguous.
it was the racism bad episode, but it was just so ham-fisted. It's like
It
it's
was the 60s.
it's great for the time because like
Yeah.
Star Trek is for the original series is super fucking woke for the 60s. Watching it now, it's just like, oh, that's horrifyingly
First
sexist.
interracial kiss on public television.
True.
Yep.
I
I know
will
you've seen. I know you've seen DS9. Ye?
Oh yeah, of course. Though right now I'm actually watching through Next Generation for the first time since I was like a kid. So it's like coming back home to an old friend. It's
Since
really
he
cool.
was a young warthog.
Were you gonna say something
When
about?
he was a young warthog.
Were you gonna say something about
Thank you.
DS9, Monica?
No, Nat says watch DS9. I'm like, I vaguely remember you watching through
Oh,
DS9.
DS9, some good shit, man. The Dominion War arc is
And
good
also,
shit.
apparently, Picard is literally about Brexit. I don't know.
Yeah, Plinkett did a dissection of the Picard movie or whatever it was,
TV show, yeah.
TV show, but
I don't know.
God.
I've been depriving myself of any kind of spoilers with regards to Discovery and Picard because one of these days I'm probably gonna either pirate it or shell out money to watch it on CBS.
You're gonna pirate it. There's nothing else to watch on CBS.
Yeah, I don't really feel like paying however much money a month just to watch two series of Star Trek.
Speaking of,
Because I mean, I use Netflix for a pretty decent variety of shows, so at least I get my money's worth with that. Anyway, so go ahead, Kevin.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Speaking of that, Disney released a stat that Mandalorian is 5 times. It's like there was either like 3 or 5 times more viewed than any other show or movie on the platform.
Good fucking shit.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought it was crazy. That was like 5 times more than like parents being forced to put on like Frozen for like the 800th time.
Or the
Fair.
Mulan movie that bombed.
Well, no one saw that, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's I will only watch that once it becomes not like behind a paywall, and even then I might not watch it.
I'll probably watch it
Not
when
only
it's
do
free.
they put it on the Disney Plus membership, but they also made you pay a shit ton of
30.
money to watch that. $30? That's
$30. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that. I watched
Yeah.
Made in Abyss: Dawn of the Deep Soul for $20 without a streaming service. 10 out of 10 movie. I bawled my eyes out at the end.
Made in Abyss is great. I watched that. I watched through the series. What was that? 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
That sounds.
I don't think
Correct.
I'm ready for those
It
kind of
came out in
feels.
2017, so that's probably when it was more available widely. So yeah.
Excuse me.
That makes sense. It was really good.
Yeah.
My ex was like, "You should watch this," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, this is great."
Yeah. Sentai Filmworks
I
did a
assume you're not
virtual-
referring to me.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Sentai Filmworks
Definitely not.
did a virtual
Yeah.
screening of it a couple months ago, and it was great. I was like, oh, Sentai Filmworks is the only one doing virtual screenings during COVID for anime movies. Okay, I'll give you money. That's a 10 out of 10 movie. Okay.
Heard that there was a lot of problems with like filming with that, where they're basically filming the movie right next to the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Chinese Muslim camps. Uyghur.
Oh, for the Mulan movie
Oh.
you're talking about?
Yeah, the Uyghur. Is that how they're
Uyghur?
pronounced?
I don't know how it's
Yeah.
pronounced,
Yeah,
but-
the Muslims in China.
Yeah, I heard
they
about
are
that.
being rounded up and sent to concentration camps. Fuck China. That is my stance on it.
Uyghur?
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 Yeah, that might be how it's pronounced.
That's yelling
Yeah.
at me as Uyghur.
Uyghur.
Okay, fair enough. But,
By the
but they were filming next to there, so that's super problematic. And also, I've heard that like Mulan as a character is really kind of a Mary Sue, where basically in the original one, Mulan basically has to work at being a
Yeah.
badass. But her thing is that in that movie is that she's really creative instead of just like thinking straight. Like to take out the Huns, she buries them in a fucking avalanche because that's dope as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Mike.
I'm just like the one of the action clips I saw from it. Not only does she make it look like it wasn't even like an effort, but also just the effects were not good. It was
Even in the
really
trailer, I
bad.
saw people like running on walls. It's like, guys, this isn't fucking Titanfall. This
then
is
people-
ancient China.
Well, I mean, it
And
could
people
be.
try to justify it being like, well, it's in the like Chinese like martial arts tradition. I'm like, I've seen better Chinese martial arts movies than this. Every movie that Jackie Chan was in was better than this.
The Raid. The Raid is I don't know if that's Chinese actually. Don't quote me on that.
Indonesian, I believe.
Great fucking martial arts movie. I need to rewatch that.
I believe The Raid is Indonesian. So
Steve,
Either way, great martial arts movie. Would recommend.
Steve, I meant to ask you this last week.
Yeah.
What's up with your sweater?
This one?
Yeah, what is it?
It's an Assassin's Creed hoodie.
But what's with the red thing?
Vanessa got it for me. Hold on.
Oh, it's a hood. I thought it was like a Firefox or something.
No, hold on. It's even got like the Ezio pointed hood.
Firefox?
Like a red panda or like I don't know.
No. It's like an Ezio style pointed hood.
Okay.
Here, I'll show you. Hold on.
Quick, we can shit talk Steve now.
A red panda, you say?
Oh yeah, red panda.
Oh, look, there's a red panda
okay.
on the top.
Babu. Fire
We
ferrets.
just started Korra. It's good shit. Oh, sorry, we kind of got off topic here. I was talking
Well,
about
that-
my.
Well,
What?
that is the big mood of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I was saying my
Topic?
two-
What topic? There is no topic here.
So one of my topics for my TED Talk could be politics of Star Trek. That's gonna take a while. I've been playing through the Fear games, which is like two different timelines, two different timelines because one company said fuck that shit, we're retconning all of this, so fuck you, those two games don't count. So I might go through like the Fear games because there's some really fucked up lore with that stuff. And also, on a more morbid one, I thought I might do an oral history of from Pizzagate to QAnon.
That would be interesting.
I'm not sure how dark we want to get because that's some fucked up shit.
I mean, I'm going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts. That gets pretty dark.
I'm going to be talking about fate.
Kingdom?
I don't know,
Really?
man. Like ripping
Ripping
people's souls out and like forcing your soul into people's bodies
Kevin,
and
that's
like
anime dark. That's
it
not
is. It's
dark.
anime dark. Yeah.
If you want to get dark, QAnon is about pedophiles like raping and killing children and drinking their blood for adrenochrome so they can live forever.
I mean, does it
We're
everyone?
talking about fate, which ends with rape. Lots
Maybe-
of rape.
Maybe I should stick with Fear. That seems less fucked up and depressing than the IRL beliefs of some of the right wing nutjobs in
Maybe
this country.
work up QAnon.
Yeah,
like,
I'll
do
do
a
that.
test run with Fear.
That's
and then
VGR talk
Yeah.
round 2.
I'll say I think round 3 will be Star Trek because by that point I'll probably actually have watched enough of Star Trek and have enough notes to actually do a decent one.
Nat's wondering which is better, Akira or Ghost in the Shell. Are you talking about live actions or did Akira get a live action?
There is no Akira live action.
Okay, I've
Give it
only
a- give it-
the
give
only
it-
thing
give
I've
it 6
seen
months.
the only thing I've seen is live action Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, Kevin, your opinion is irrelevant.
I thought it was okay.
Personally speaking, I would give Akira like a light 9, and I would give Ghost in the Shell a strong 8.
Sorry,
I have
the-
not seen either of them in a very long time, so I can't say for certain if those opinions hold the same way. But I would give the edge to Akira right now.
Thanks for the bits, Patrick.
Apparently wandered in when Steve was just doing his old man ranting.
Hey,
Skittle
old man
doopy-doop.
ranting. I don't think too many old men, unless they're into QAnon, rant about pedophiles eating children.
Wait,
In response to the
Patrick.
question,
Patrick, is the sousaphone saxophone rivalry still going on? Do you know? Is that still a
in
thing?
response to the chat, yes, Ghost in the Shell is more influential to cinema at large. It was a huge influence on the Wachowskis when they did The Matrix.
Mhm.
But Akira, in terms of the anime sphere, is also really influential just because it was one of the most like high budget anime films ever made, and
Vanessa,
it made
can
it
you hand me a
ton of
fork or
money.
something?
And it's just Akira. So
Akira's the thing with the motorcycle slide, right?
yes.
Kanina!
Oh my goodness. So
I need to.
Sarah, the
rivalry
rivalry was only acknowledged by us. The saxophone's never new.
I definitely need to watch that at some point. Is that on Verve by any chance?
Movies are typically not on Verve, especially though. I believe Ghost. Let me see who's Ghost.
Yes,
in the Shell
Patrick,
right
yes!
now. Hold on, let me check the shelf.
No, I haven't seen either of those. Nat, I have a very lengthy list of anime that I'm still working through.
Guys, those of you who have seen it, how was the live action Ghost in the Shell? Other than well,
Okay.
Now, I've never seen the actual anime, but I thought the live action was okay. Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't offensive or. Go ahead, Mike.
I actually did a whole video on how the quote-unquote whitewashing actually played into the plot of the film.
isn't basically from what I understand, the Major, that's the character's name, right?
Major, yes.
The Major is basically a disembodied consciousness, hence the ghost, and the shell is basically an android-esque body that she shoves herself into.
Yes.
So yeah, that kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, I can't say why the whitewashing works because it's a spoiler. So if you haven't
fair.
seen it, I can't describe it to you. But if you think about it, after the plot twist in the third act, you start to see. Well, I'll just show you my video if you eventually get around to it.
I'll probably
Yeah,
rewatch it
watch
actually.
eventually. How did anyone see Battle Angel Alita?
Nope.
I've not. I've read
heard-
the whole manga though. So.
I heard good things about it actually.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I trust James Cameron. I trust Robert Rodriguez.
James Cameron, the greatest pioneer.
Oh, was that Robert?
No holes too
Rodriguez
deep, no
flick?
oceans too.
Yeah,
no
it
mountains
was
too steep, no
originally
oceans
going to be
too deep.
directed by James Cameron, but then at some point he subbed in Robert Rodriguez as the director. And James
Alita was
Cameron
fine too.
Just a producer.
Okay.
Mm.
Robert
I-
Rodriguez did Spy Kids.
Spy
right?
Kids, yep.
Yeah.
And Machete.
And Machete. And
Same
Shark
universe.
Boy and Lava Girl, which
There's a
apparently
sequel.
has a sequel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
But
well,
it doesn't
no,
have Taylor Lautner, so who cares?
I
no,
was
it's not a
disappointed in that,
sequel.
yes.
No,
It's not a
nobody needs-
sequel.
Nobody needs Alpaca Boy in that movie.
Yes, we
it's-
do.
From what I've heard, it's not like a direct sequel, but they are in it.
Well, it's their kids.
Yes.
It's called.
So
It's called something else.
It's called We
I
Can
don't
Be
know.
Heroes.
See,
isn't that
Shark
a
Boy and
song?
Lava Girl came out at a time when I was starting to, I won't say age out, but not. But
I was aging
my
out at that point.
I aged out.
I was just kind of like, this movie looks stupid. I'm not seeing this.
I mean,
So
it was
it-
also bad. So.
Yeah,
There's that too.
And it didn't hold any nostalgic feeling for me.
I mean,
But yes, the sequel is called We Can Be Heroes, and it comes out on January 1st.
my only
that's soon.
my only interaction with that movie was
I've seen the whole thing.
I think the Nostalgia Critic reviewing it.
Oh.
I
Wait,
saw a
was
little
it- was
bit of
it-
it before that, but
Was that the one with Sylvester Stallone as the bad guy?
No, that was Spy
no,
Kids
that
3.
was Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah.
Oh,
Game
yeah, okay.
over.
Who was the bad guy?
Which was
in
awesome.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
George Lopez.
Oh
Well,
God.
was he a bad guy?
He
Or
was he was on like a robot face.
yeah.
Definitely the
I
bad
don't
guy.
really remember
Movies,
this.
so I'll go along with it. Yeah. So George Lopez was the bad guy.
Yeah, nah,
Today
I would.
on
I mean, yeah.
sentences I never thought I'd say.
Taylor Lautner's an okay
Really? You
actor.
never thought you'd say George Lopez was the bad guy?
Taylor Lautner is an okay actor. I think. I thought. What's his name? Edward Pattinson's probably a better actor.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, thank you.
Who? Was Robert
No.
Pattinson in that movie?
No, I'm
Twilight.
just comparing Twilight actors.
Twilight.
Apparently Christine's watching Twilight right now outside.
Robert Pattinson.
She's watching
is
New
like
Moon.
Is like, in my opinion, in all fairness, I'm basing this almost entirely on other people's opinions. But from what I've heard, Robert Pattinson's like an A-list, maybe not A-list in terms of fame, but I'm talking like in skill level actor. So, like, apparently him and William Dafoe were fucking amazing in The Lighthouse, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
I
definitely
haven't
should
seen
see.
The Lighthouse. I mean,
I've
he was
seen
Cedric
scenes
Diggory
and
in
it's
Harry
crazy.
Potter, so
Well, yeah, he's great as Cedric, and he loved Harry. He
he's
loved the Harry.
fine.
No, he was great. I mean, he loved the Harry Potter universe.
To
He
be
hates the
fair,
Twilight
that was-
universe.
to be fair, that was the worst adapted movie. So a lot of Cedric's stuff was cut from that movie.
Christine would disagree.
He wasn't really in it very
Christine
much.
would be wrong.
Christine would argue that Half-Blood Prince was the worst adapted movie.
I would say that's the second to worst adapted movie.
I haven't read.
Here
the
she
books
comes.
in like a decade, so.
Yeah, it's like we summoned her.
Which Harry Potter's movie the worst?
Oh Lord, she
It's fucking
coming.
Half-Blood Prince because they did my Ginny dirty.
Yeah, well,
Fuck off, Mike.
they did Ginny dirty in all of the movies.
Okay,
So-
Ginny
Yeah.
was the best Ginny in 4 because she actually had a fucking personality.
Did she do anything in 4?
She was a minor character, but she had the sass that
She was the best in
matched-
5 when she blew someone up.
Okay,
That was cool.
5, but she still had a shit personality.
Protecto.
She just kind of like blew shit up. Which,
She's like,
yeah.
Yeah,
bah.
badass.
Oh, and that was
I
the
got a
whole
hot
point of
take. Harry
comparing
Potter
Ginny
would've
to
been
Cho
much
and how
better as a
Cho was
TV
just
series.
this shitty person.
Oh, 100% Harry Potter would be better as a TV series.
Yeah.
You can say that about a lot of.
You just have more time to do stuff. Like, and now that HBO owns the rights to Harry Potter,
Except it's not on fucking HBO Max. Like, what
Yeah,
the
I know.
fuck is with that?
I do hope
also,
that
you're going into Red. It means you're loud as shit, dude.
I do kind of hope that HBO decides to make a kind of like a Game of Thrones style TV show for Harry Potter.
Not Game of Thrones style, just Harry
would-
Potter.
No, but just like
I would disagree.
10 episodes per book,
I
7
would disagree,
seasons.
mostly because there were just so many
Thing-
really good directors attached to Harry Potter as a franchise.
Well, I also love the
Good. I'm
movies.
talking more about like. Now I'm thinking back on it. The really only like character development we got like was for like of course the main 3,
Ish.
like Snape. I suppose really it was just the main 3. Now that if
Like,
I'm really thinking
Draco.
about it.
Don't
Like
forget my
even
Draco.
Harry Potter
Okay,
aside,
Draco, yeah.
like even Harry Potter aside, like just film people in general consider the 3rd movie to be like one of the best movies.
Yeah,
ever
no.
made.
I'm not arguing the point.
That's-
One of the third movie is one of the best
that
Third
movies.
movie's great.
Prisoner of Azkaban was the best Harry Potter movie. Then
Alfonso Cuarón, great director.
Well, yeah,
Um,
he's great. Well, and then so yeah, I love the 3rd one. The 5th one, I mostly like because of Fred and George. They're my boys.
And
That was
so-
when, like the last director took over on who was that? Let me
David,
see.
what's his face?
Let's see, director
David, what's
Yates.
his
Yes.
face?
I have a different kind of view of all the Harry Potter books / movies because I saw the movies first
The wrong.
and then I saw the books. Well, no, I think it's the right way, because because
I'm not
so
going to refute you on that.
so I saw the movies first and then I read the books.
You did not read the books. You listened to them on.
Okay,
tape.
yeah, we listened to them on tape while we were in the car driving to and from Wisconsin.
I got
anyways-
I got him to read
it's okay. That's
all
how I
7.
read Game of Thrones, so you're fine.
Anyways, watching the movies first and then listening to the books, it made me realize that yes, there is stuff missing from the movies.
Important stuff.
Nah, see, I disagree. Most stuff that's in the movies.
Outside of 4 and 6, I would say there's not a lot of important stuff missing from.
Yeah,
but-
6, and even then, 6 was the one that you missed the most backstory building with Voldemort. But other than that, like, it's all the important shit's in there. It's all in the movies. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't need to know who Peeves is because Peeves isn't a crucial character. He's a side comic relief character.
Okay.
What does he do to advance the plot? Nothing.
He fights in the fucking.
It's like
Last
it's
battle.
like cutting.
Who cares?
It's like cutting Tom Bombadil from the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
he's cool, but no one would understand why he's there.
and he doesn't do anything in the Lord of the Rings books. He pretty much just says, "Yeah, I could win the war in probably a day, but
You're so.
I don't
loud.
care.
give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care. It's your problem. It's not my problem."
He touches the ring. He's like, "Ooh, shiny," and Frodo's like, "Wait, what?"
Well, Tom
Why aren't you
Bombadil,
being swayed by ring wraiths? Because I'm Tom Bombadil, motherfucker.
he's pretty much
You know, that's
stronger
one
than
of the-
Sauron or Sauron.
He's
That's one of the
literally
things
God.
where it's like
Pretty much, yeah.
everybody has their like missing nerd cred, like to certify them as a nerd. My big missing piece for the nerd cred is Lord of the Rings. Is like I never.
Don't feel too bad. I only just watched them like a year and a half ago myself. So
I didn't watch the
remember
movies until I met Kevin. So
around when the first movie I think was
Shake
like the
my head.
very first movie
Bye.
was on DVD. I remember my Uncle Jeff. He for some reason he was watching me and my sister, and he tried to like get me to watch it, and I just was not having it. And he tried to sit me down and watch he's like, just watch at least like the first like 10 minutes, and I'm
Oh
like,
God, I
I
missed
just
so
want
many
to go play.
messages.
Thank you.
it's I never really I enjoyed watching the movies, but it was never really my thing because I'm much more of a sci-fi than a fantasy guy.
Oh, I'm
So-
much more fantasy than sci-fi. So
But then again, I really enjoy The Witcher, so I don't know.
Is my
Ooh,
video choppy?
you're
It's a little
it's not.
potatoey, yeah.
I wouldn't say choppy, but yeah, your quality's kind of bleh.
Let me.
Um,
Can I try something at the risk of fucking everything up?
I mean, as long as you come back.
yeah.
Um,
So I've plugged this video before,
Oh, yeah.
but here, great
Let's see if that
great
fixes
analysis YouTuber Alexander did like a full 3-hour dissection on all of the Harry Potter movies and
Oh.
what he feels like was done right by the books versus how it was done in the movies.
Well,
So-
actually, Christina and I just watched a video yesterday of how they pretty much made two different versions of Snape, like a movie version and a book version, and how they're different. Like, and they make very distinct choices in the movies, like very specific small details to make it clear that Snape is the hero. Pretty much, he broke it down to being in the books, Snape's a way bigger dick. And he's like not as a good guy until the very end.
Well,
But like
that could also be I'm sure you already know this little bit of trivia, but like from the first movie, Rowling actually went up to Alan Rickman and said, "This is what Snape's character arc is."
yes, yeah. So yeah, Alan Rickman was told
So
at the
he
very
had
beginning
that
how it
knowledge
ends.
before everyone else.
Yeah, but so there are such small details that you miss, like in the very first movie, and we watched the first movie last night, or I did. Christine fell asleep. But so there's the very first time Harry's like scar hurts, and he's like looking at Snape. The back of Quirrell's head is facing Harry. And then so Snape sees Harry like clutching his forehead, looks concerned, and glances at Quirrell, and then back to Harry, like he knows. And then immediately it's kind of like a whoa.
But if you've never read the books, it's still a good cue of
Yes.
Oh, is it Snape?
Which
Is it Snape?
which is why I still think the best way to watch it, or the best way to experience Harry Potter, is see the movies then read the books.
I would
Because
very tentatively agree.
because then you get because then you can go back and you get the smaller details that you missed out on.
I gotta say though,
Except for 4, because 4 was just not good.
I gotta
I liked
say
four.
though, whoever it was that was playing Dolores Umbridge is fucking amazing because I hate her so fucking much. She's such a
Let's see. That
So
would
good.
be Imelda Staunton.
You know what's really weird? What if you watch the Maleficent movies? She's one of the fairies, and it throws me off every fucking time because she's
She was
actually
also-
a decent
course-
person.
Of course, Cursed Child is terrible. What are you talking about?
She was in the
Yeah, I was
Downton
about
Abbey
to
movie.
say, I don't think that's controversial of a take.
No,
No.
From what I hear of Cursed Child is basically fan fiction
It's a
that was
fanfic.
got the Rowling stamp of approval.
It's a fanfic. I mean, it's literally about Voldemort and Bellatrix's daughter. Like,
Yeah.
it's just bad, and I just
Voldemort just doesn't seem like Voldemort doesn't fuck.
well. So
I don't-
here's my hot take on why I don't like J.K. Rowling. Like, yes,
She's a transphobic piece of
This is-
shit.
not even
the
that.
hot
Like,
take.
well,
This is the hot take.
well, no, hold on. So I'm not even gonna talk about that whole social justice thing and whatever. I'm talking about just as her as a writer, because she does this thing that I hate, where she vaguely describes things in her books. Like, there are so many things in the books that like we never understand, and we still don't understand. Until
Like what?
someone, I'll get to that. Until someone comes up with a theory on Twitter, and she's like, "Yep, that's how it works."
Yes.
Like, we never know how a Horcrux truly works. Yes, we know
That's
that.
true.
Yes, we know that it splits a
I
soul.
would say the movies are better at describing how a Horcrux works than how the books are.
Yeah, but even then, like it's still like, yeah, you kill someone and you put a piece of your soul in an object. Okay, then what? Like, how does that translate into living past death? Like do you take the object
movies
and
didn't
then
explain that.
Yeah, well,
they
the
didn't,
movies
but then
don't
like
even try to explain it. They're just like, his soul is in that.
break
Okay.
it. but it's kind of like,
Smash it.
but like, what does it do? Does it make it so that like your body can't die, or does it make it so like if your body dies, you just break the object and then like a new body will come out of it? Because I mean, that's kind of what they alluded to in the movies or in the books, where he's like a little tiny baby thing. Like, I'm like, did they grow that out of a Horcrux or something? Like, there's that.
Here's a hot take. Harry Potter is an interesting world, but it is dog shit in terms of fantasy. It has the worst magic system I have ever read in my entire life.
I wouldn't even argue that. There's just
Can't
no
really-
world building.
Well, the
can't-
world. Go ahead.
The magic is fine. It's soft magic. It's a soft magic system.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. There's no cost. Like in I
Lord of the
read
Rings is a soft magic system too.
what
Lord of the Rings, it's magic. You don't gotta explain shit.
But barely anyone can do it. Like,
Yeah,
there's
that's the
only
thing,
like
like,
6
Gandalf-
characters in the entire series that can use magic.
Right,
I
but
don't
in
see-
like Harry Potter, you can just yeet spells left and right. But like in other series, like so you want, like, there was a book series I read as a kid. So you want to be a wizard. I can't think of another one
That's
off
cute,
the top
Patrick.
of my head, but there's always a there's always a cost for it, though. Like if you cast too many spells, you just you get really tired and you can't fucking cast any more
That's just
spells.
'cause
That's
how
mana.
the rules of those series work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
but-
all about the rules of the world. And
just-
so
and
like
Harry
I don't-
Potter, that's not a rule, so it's
I
fine.
don't. I mean, that's fair, but it's also
If
just
you
makes everyone
really-
feel like super OP, you know?
If you really want a Harry Potter hot take, there's a great copy pasta from 4chan I could read.
so one more thing. We one more example of my whole like she doesn't explain anything. We were watching Chamber of Secrets last night, and they get to Gringotts and they show Harry his vault with all the piles of gold, and I turned to Christine, I'm like, what did Harry's parents do for a living? And then she was like, well, they died when they were like 22.
Wasn't
And,
it implied that they were Aurors?
Or not.
It was implied that James was an
no,
Auror,
James
but he was still
I
like
think-
22.
I think James was. I want to say the Potters invented the Skelegrove potion.
Yes, it is implied that the Potter name is a name of money, so it's like Harry's like inheritance. But like they never explain it. He just has a pile of money in his vault,
J.K. Rowling's a bad writer.
it just broke my mind for a second. I was like, how? Like yeah, he's got all the money, but where did it come from?
That comes more from British writing tradition. Like if you actually read more British literary tradition, it makes more sense. But
How?
do you want me to really break your mind about Harry?
Hit it.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
The Potter's got money from the first Trolls movie.
Harry Potter. It very neatly describes the way liberals see the world and political struggle.
Oh boy, here we go.
Lots of people complain about the anticlimactic ending, but really I don't think it could go any other way. I'd like to imagine that there's
Mike,
some
back
alternate...
up from your microphone just a little bit.
Okay. I'd like to imagine that there's some alternate universe where Rowling actually believed in something and Harry was actually built up as the anti-Voldemort he was only hinted at in the beginning of the book, where he opposes all the many injustices of the wizarding world and determines to and is determined to change their frequently backwards, insular, contradictory society for the better, and forms his own faction antithetical to the Death Eaters. And when he finally has his showdown with Voldy, Harry surpasses him by adopting new methods, breaking the rules, and embracing change and the progression of history. While Voldemort clings to an idyllic image of the past, and the greatest extent of his dreams is to become the self-appointed god of an eternally stagnant Neverland, Harry has embraced the possibility of a shining future and so can overcome the self-imposed limits Voldemort could never cross, and Voldemort is ultimately defeated by this. But that would require a Harry that believed in something. And since Rowling is a liberal centrist Blairite that doesn't really believe in anything, Harry can't believe in anything. Harry lives in a world draught with conflict and injustice, a stratified class society, slavery of sentient magical creatures, the absurd charade the wizarding world puts up to enforce their own self-segregation, a corrupted and bureaucracy-choked government, rampant racism, so on and so forth. But Harry is little more than a passive observer for the most of it. Only the racism really bothers him, and then really only racism against half-bloods. In fact, when Hermione stands up against slavery of elves, she's treated as some kind of ridiculous soapbox Sadie for opposing literal chattel slavery. In the end, the biggest force for change is Voldemort, and Harry and friends only ever fight for the preservation of reproduction of the status quo. The very height of Harry's dream is to join the Aurors, a sort of wizard FBI and the ultimate defenders of the wizarding status quo. Voldemort and the Death Eaters are the big instigators of change, and Harry never quite gets to Voldy's level. Harry doesn't even beat Voldemort. Voldemort accidentally kills himself because he violated some obscure technicality that causes one of his spells to bounce back at him. And this is really the struggle of liberals. They live in a world fraught with conflict, but aren't particularly bothered by any of it, except those a bit that threaten multicultural pluralism. They see change, and the force behind that change, as a wholly negative phenomenon. Even then, they can only act within the legal and ideological framework of their society. So, for instance, instead of organizing insurrectionary and disruptive activity against Trump and the far right, all they can do is bang their drum about what a racist bigot he is and hope they can catch him violating some technicality that will allow them to have him impeached or at least destroy his political clout. It won't work, it will never work, but that's the limits of liberalism, just as it was the limit of Harry Potter.
Thanks, I hate Harry Potter now.
So,
how old is that?
I ruined Harry Potter for everyone. Thanks. Bye-bye.
One quick technicality there. I'm pretty sure Harry Expelliarmus the shit out of Voldemort. So,
Nope.
I mean,
Nope.
I don't...
No, it's because the Elder Wand didn't belong to Voldemort.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. Yeah,
The Elder Wand was loyal to Harry, which is why I could never kill him.
Yep. You're welcome for me ruining Harry Potter for everyone.
You're not wrong. I was actually thinking that, like, at least in terms of the movies, Harry just always feels like he's along for the ride, and that's about it. And everyone else, like Ron, Hermione, McGonagall, Dumbledore, all basically all just like, do this. Now, Harry's on one giant fetch quest throughout the entire fucking
That's
book
the
series.
big double-edged sword with Chosen One narratives. It's, on the one hand, it's like, okay, I get it. He's the chosen one. He has to defeat the big bad. But then on the other hand, well, why?
Yeah.
But why?
Is it bad that I think Star Wars did the Chosen One better than Harry Potter?
I mean,
You mean the prequels?
At least Anakin's an interesting character.
I have seen some interesting arguments lately as to how Lucas's vision of the Republic is actually kind of realistic.
Yeah, I mean,
how bureaucracy actually works. I still don't think that makes them good movies.
no, hell no. But yeah, they're realistic. I mean, like in a world where there is a republic that literally governs 500 planets, yeah, their bureaucracy would probably work something like that, where they have a giant council and they all get together and they all debate laws and shit, because that's pretty much how everyone has a fair say.
And back in like 2000 or 99 or whenever episode 1 came out,
Lucas just can't write.
Why would a trade negotiation start a war? Fast forward to 2020.
Oh! Oh no, this is Star Wars. Is this episode 1? Is this it? Oh no, that means episode 2 is next year. That's like the worst one.
Fuck off with that shit. I still like episode 1. I think it's best. I still like
wait.
episode 2 better than episode 1.
Mm-mm. Episode 2 is way worse.
Nope, I disagree entirely. The absence of Jar Jar makes it better entirely.
Jar.
What?
Not only is he still into...
Stop.
Well, actually, you could argue that Jar Jar is the ultimate bureaucrat.
He
An
is.
absolute idiot who doesn't know what he's doing.
Who works
and
his way.
plunges the entire galaxy into war.
He's Trump.
Oh,
Uh-oh, he's Trump.
There we go. I was waiting for Nat to comment with that.
Did I just say that out loud? Yes.
No, you see, I just
100% agree with you, Nat. 100% agree.
Jar Jar
Yeah,
isn't even a
Jar Jar-
terrible character.
Episode 2
No,
does
no,
have
Jar Jar
Natalie
is-
Portman's midriff.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But like,
Yeah.
for
No,
No,
100%.
40.
I don't care if it's
And Natalie's port, man.
I genuinely don't care if there's less lightsaber fights and the first half is boring. It still keeps me more interested than episode 1.
If
Nope.
y'all are gonna talk
Disagree.
stories, I'm gonna get more wine.
disagree.
I guess we're gonna have to
Episode
agree to
1.
Hey, we're reviving this segment of the podcast.
Episode-
Talking about Star Wars
episode-
for fucking ever.
Episode.
Any-
No, hold
any
on.
scene with Jar Jar in it, including the Clone Wars TV show, is just nails on a fucking chalkboard for me. I wish no harm on Ahmed Best, the actor, but holy fuck, when I want to stab the character Jar Jar in the fucking throat every time I see him. You could fucking quote me on that.
No, if anything, episode 1 and 2 are both equally useless and unnecessary. But in my opinion, episode 2 is the one where you could pretty much skip from 1 to 3 and be fine. Besides the
So you
introduction of
missed-
the clones.
Yeah, I was going
That's
to say,
the
you kinda-
only thing that matters is the shit on Geonosis. The
I
last
don't
30 minutes.
dis-
That's the
I-
only thing that matters in episode 2. The
I
rest is just
don't
boring
disagree.
ass bullshit.
You're not wrong entirely, but I still like it better than episode 1 because again, there's about like 75% less Jar Jar. That's what matters to me because I can't fucking stand Jar Jar.
See, here's the thing. Episode 1 had nothing, but episode 2 tried to have something.
Did it though?
But no, it
What did
tried
episode 2
have
try to
something,
have?
But every single thing that it did was wrong.
Episode 1 at least had pod racing, it had Darth
Yeah.
Maul.
Episode 1 had a lot of weird shit that went nowhere.
Yeah,
Episode
I'll agree
2
with that.
Tried to build to something, but all of the build up was bad.
Nat is upset.
No, you see, I just okay,
What's
so
that upset about?
let's all just agree that episode 1 and 2 are useless, and you could just start with 3 and be perfectly fine.
Oh my god.
Or
I
you
think
could
we
just not watch the prequels at all.
No,
Just
no,
watch the
I
original
I would
trilogy,
say
'cause
3.
They're all good.
I would say
I hear Nat
I-
in the
yeah.
background. What is he saying?
I would say 3 is important to the plot.
He's so
3 is the only prequel that's important story-wise.
He dies at the end, therefore it's irrelevant because it introduces 2 characters who are major to the plot in episode 1 that are killed. So it doesn't matter. Everything that's in episode 1 is restated in 2 and 3 and better. The prequels still suck, but episode 1 is absolutely 1000% unnecessary to watch. You can watch 2 and 3 and get all the same info.
Come
And
here.
it's just Jar Jar.
Preach, Nat! Preach! Preach!
Come here. It's okay.
Have you ever heard of the hatchet order where you skip 1, you do A New Hope, Empire, then you go to 2 and 3, and then you do Jedi.
No. Tell Nat true machete order is 4536. You don't watch 1 or 2.
No, it's 45236.
I've the purest version is 4536.
No. Episode 2 is still necessary. As bad as it is still necessary in terms of your understanding of the conflict.
None
No.
of them are
And-
necessary. You
No.
can just watch the original trilogy and then go to the sequels.
You can jump right into 3 and be perfectly fine.
No, you
Or,
can't.
or again, you could just not watch any of them.
That is already been stated. Like when 3 starts, there are things that have happened in 2 that aren't really like as stated. You still need 2.
No, you don't need 2.
Yes, you still need 2.
What do you miss out by? What do you miss out? What do you miss out on 2 that you don't get in 3?
When you get the Rickon.
Do it. Don't get yourself into it. It's not worth it. Don't even watch the original. Just don't get into it. It's not worth it.
I think we need a Rickon break.
You have to have this discussion over and over and over again. Just don't do it ever.
Hey,
Here's
Mike.
a Rickon.
You can
Oh,
skip
I see
episode
Rick
2.
Okay, I'm going to. I know I always hype up the Clone Wars TV show. Mike, do you have access to Disney Plus or any way to watch the Clone Wars TV show?
No.
Well, if you're willing to pirate something, I think I have 4 episodes that Mike can.
So you do need episode 2 because
Oh my god, it's still
otherwise
going.
it's just, hey, here's a bunch of stormtrooper looking dudes. How did they get here?
Who gives a shit? It's Star Wars. Did anyone ask in episode 4 how they got there? No, they didn't. You didn't watch New Hope and go, hey, who are these guys in white? No, you didn't fucking ask that.
Exactly.
You can skip 2. 100%.
Seriously, don't get into Star Wars. It's not worth this. You have to have this discussion every single fucking time. Just don't. Go watch fucking Marvel or some other shit. Don't watch Star Wars.
Well, what about
But anyway,
Mandalorian,
look
though?
at
Cat.
Mandalorian's pretty good, though,
Mandalor-
Mike.
Do watch the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's fucking dope.
Watch last week's episode tonight. It was great.
Oh, it's so
Need you to
fucking
quit
good.
it.
It's so fucking good. Apparently, Carl Weathers directed that one.
Nice.
Although I, real quick tangent, Mike. I have 4 episodes of Clone Wars for you to watch. That if you don't like them, you will not like the Clone Wars. It's the Umbara arc in season 4. It's really fucking dark. It's actually pretty great.
Hi, baby.
Okay.
Is that with a U?
I watched Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars.
Yes,
Those were
I know.
good.
I'm telling you. I think if you gave it a fair shake, you would like the 3D animated one.
Okay, but that's like 6 seasons of stuff.
You don't have to watch all of it. You can watch a curated
Yes, I
list.
do, Steve. That's not how I work.
You can skip the ones with Jar Jar in
That's
it.
not how
would-
I work, Steve.
Mike, skip the ones with Jar Jar in it. I beg you.
I'm getting killed. by
That's
my
fine. As cats do.
cat. He's adorable.
Although, kind of a transition. I personally have a kind of a problem with separating an actor from their work, because
Oh.
it recently came out that Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune, is a right-wing piece of shit. So kind of transphobic, against BLM, stuff like that. And I liked Cara Dune in the first season because I didn't know that. Now it's really hard to take her seriously as some kind of rebel freedom fighter when the actual actress is basically against everything
Steve?
that the rebels stand for.
Steve,
Yeah.
it's called acting.
No, see, I understand that. I get that. I just
Acting?
my brain.
You can play someone who is
okay.
not yourself.
Mike, I
Acting?
understand that.
What is
my brain has-
acting?
My brain just has a difficult time separating the character from the actor.
Then
So-
you are doing media wrong, Steve.
You're probably right. That's just
Although
my
they-
brain.
Suspension of disbelief.
That is a lot of people do have a hard time, especially in the age of Hollywood, separating the actor from the the character, and the media surrounding the actor can have negative effects on actors' portrayal. Because just to circle back to Harry Potter, Gary fucking
Yep.
Oldman, like that is a man who can slip into a role and you don't really get caught up in his celebrity.
Well, even
Million.
then, like Tom Felton, who plays Draco Malfoy, like nicest guy on the planet, like super
No,
cool
100%.
guy.
Yeah, one of
But
the things that
but
I hate
but I'm sure
most-
that people treat him kind of shitty when they see him in real life because it's like, oh my gosh, Draco Malfoy.
Oh yeah, and one of the
You underestimate Harry Potter fans, Kevin.
Oh no, I'm
And
sure he
and
gets ripped on all the
thirst-
time.
And the thirst for Malfoy. You underestimate
Ooh,
the
the
thirst.
thirst.
the thirst, God.
The thirst for
One of the things
Rahul.
I can't fucking stand as an actor is when people are like, "Oh, you're just pretending, you're just lying." It's like, no, because all good acting has some kernel of truth in there for the actor, and that's what makes a good, genuine.
Are you gonna tell us about your method?
performance. What?
Are you gonna tell us about the method?
Oh God! Don't even talk to me about fucking method. Oh God!
We're doing method acting now?
Me personally, I don't.
Oh no! Wait! Or is it the process?
There, method actors are all nuts. I mean, fuck. Like, can we talk about why am I blanking on his name? Jesus fucking Christ.
Joker?
No. Rosebud.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles. Thank you. Like
Was he a
Orson Welles,
method
is fucking insane.
Sorry, what was the question? What was your statement just then? I was typing.
Orson Welles, fucking insane. He was method as
No,
hell.
he was an egotistical maniac.
Orson Welles is nuts, and that's because he's a genius, not because he's method. There's a difference.
Who else is? Why am I?
Daniel Day-Lewis is method.
But no, yeah, Star Wars fans are the worst.
I was doing the whole like Simpsons thing. Fucking
Who was Dark Knight Joker? That guy.
Heath
That
Ledger.
was Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's a method actor.
That's a dangerous level of method to go to.
Yes.
Here's my thing though. Like I can separate. I don't identify an actor as their character, sort of. Like, I have no problem with, like, Jackie Gleason, like, because he was Joffrey in Game of Thrones. His character is an absolute bastard, but, like, I have nothing but respect for him from being able to portray an absolute bastard. But, like, if I know an actor IRL is kind of a piece of shit, like, I have a difficult time, like, seeing past that, I guess.
And that's valid. We want our actors that we celebrate to be good people that we can relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
You also have to take into account you're only hearing what the condensed media like push is. Like, for example, for a very long stretch of time, Johnny Depp was seen as this awful, absolute piece of shit. And then, suddenly turns out his girlfriend was the abuser, not him. But no one's really gotten over that narrative yet. So you can't really
the
take
1.5 million people who've signed that petition to get Amber Heard fired from Aquaman 2 beg to differ, but fair enough.
Yeah, most people I know still think Johnny Depp is a piece of shit. So,
I've been all over Reddit.
So you can't really know a person just from how they're portrayed in news articles.
I don't disagree with you, but if you post things on Twitter like ranting about how BLM is bad, I think I'm qualified to say you're kind of a piece of shit. So that's just my opinion, though.
But
Yo, I'm gonna
You have to
hijack
actually
this
talk to them.
conversation and completely switch it in a different direction because
Go for
I've
it.
been wanting to talk about this all night, and I think we need a little bit of a break.
No.
yeah.
So Thanksgiving's tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
What the fuck is that?
I know it's
A holiday?
a holiday. I know
You
it's
still have
2020.
holidays?
So what y'all doing for Thanksgiving?
So yeah, that was going.
Crying.
My big topic question is, what are your normal traditions for Thanksgiving, and what are you doing this year that's different, if at all?
Honestly, not that much different. The only difference is, like, normally we have a big family get together that's around 25 to 30 people, but now like half of them are going to different parts of the country, so now it's only like 15 people. So not much different. Pandemic don't stop a bunch of Italians from eating together.
Wear a fucking mask, Mike.
Yeah.
Or don't hang out with anyone for 2
And
weeks afterwards.
Fortunately, my grandma is not coming, so that's good.
That's good. We're going
go
to. So what we've been doing the past couple of years is we've been doing 2 Thanksgivings, going to my family and then Christine's family. My family isn't doing anything this year, so we're just going to Christine's family, and that's going to be even smaller than usual. So it's only like 6 people.
We
Total.
usually do a pretty big gathering at the Rudolph side of my family, over down in a little bit south of here. However, we weren't planning on doing that anyway, just because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But I just found out. Oh well. Anyway, we can't do that anyway. So we're just going over to my parents' place, just like, my mom, my dad, my brother, me, and Vanessa. We're gonna be masked up when we're not eating, and when we're eating, we're in other rooms. So probably gonna. We just cooked I did a bunch of the grunt work, and Vanessa and I whipped up some cheesecake, and we're gonna be making what is it again? The other dish? Roasted vegetable. It's got like squash. It's got it's got squash and Brussels sprouts.
I like
really good.
how you had to look to Vanessa to get roasted vegetables.
It
It
has a specific name, but Vanessa just told me roasted vegetables. It's like a squash. It's a squash. It's a squash Brussels sprout like. She just said a long thing of words that I think I'm too drunk to repeat. So it's got squash. It's got squash. Squash and Brussels sprouts. It's very good. Would recommend. Quite tasty. Looking forward to eating it tomorrow.
I like squash.
So but TLDR, we're having a socially distanced Thanksgiving with my parents instead of the large gathering at my
Your
aunts and
family.
uncles.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Ryan.
All right. Yeah.
Oh.
We're just going to my grandma's. That's the only thing different. Normally we would hang out with one side of the family, but
COVID.
Oh yeah, a lot like a handful of them are I don't know, well, probably immunocompromised. I'm not entirely sure. Also my great aunt she's out of the hospital.
Yay.
She actually got transferred to like I don't want to say like it's like a hospital, but like sort of like an assisted living, but it's still like a hospital setting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually out here.
Oh, nice.
And she lives normally not too far from Sox Park.
Whatever it's called these days.
Yeah, I'm just like, why?
What is it,
First of all,
now?
Guaranteed rate, the G spot.
First of all, how did you get transferred out here?
I'm sorry.
All the way out here.
The G spot, is that what we're calling something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's called
G spot.
Are we back at ISU now?
I love it and I hate it at the exact same time.
Oh my goodness.
For anyone that didn't go to ISU, the sexual wellness thing that moved around, it was literally like a sexual wellness tent thing that moved around every day, and it was called the G spot.
Tent is very
It was literally like a circular table with like a canopy around it.
It was like a food stall.
Yes.
Instead of food, it was condoms.
It was condoms and lube. Yeah,
stickers.
and stickers. It moved around every day, and literally had a giant banner on the front that said, "Congrats, you found the G spot." It's so good.
So I'm just gonna
I need another one of those stickers.
because I didn't get to talk about what my Thanksgiving plans were.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
It's all good. So normally, what we do for Thanksgiving is each one of my mom's siblings has a specified holiday that they do. So my family normally does Easter. My Uncle Mike normally does Christmas, and my Uncle Ray normally does Thanksgiving. So normally we just spend the time with my mom's side. This year was all, even without COVID, this year already would have been interesting because my Uncle Ray was living with his girlfriend in a house, and what ended up happening is they broke up last year, and since her name was on the lease, she sold the house and he got his ass to the curb. So he's
Rip.
That sucks.
So we already would have had to adjust our plans anyway. But
where's he living now? An apartment or something?
Fuck if I know. But all I know is in a trailer. That's literally all I know. But
rip.
But but in terms of what we're doing this year, nobody's really meeting up. But me and Nat are gonna, or rather me, I'm going to be cooking something just kind of for the two of us because he requested tofurkey, and I'm going to be trying to cook that.
Tofurkey.
Need an explanation for that.
Okay, wait.
The basic concept, but I think I would need some more details on that.
Can we have some real talk? Can I have some real talk real quick?
Yeah.
Turkey's overrated.
100%
Why would
disagree
you
with
say
you.
something so controversial? You're so brave.
I think
I gotta
turkey.
disagree with you on that one.
Turkey is so overrated. I would rather have any other meat on Thanksgiving, like any other meat.
I'm not going to agree with you, but I'm not going to stand opposed to you.
I gotta say, I prefer turkey over something like ham.
No, ham is so much better.
You're banned from the podcast. Get out of here.
Ham is supreme.
Also, even within the same family of meats, chicken is way better than turkey.
Oh yeah, chicken's better than turkey. Ham's better than turkey. Beef, any beef product is better than turkey.
Wait. Okay,
fish is better than turkey. Everything's better than turkey.
Okay, beef I'll 100% agree with you on. But, turkey and chicken have virtually no taste difference, at least in my tongue. So
No, there is difference.
No.
I don't know.
I just think
Chicken
turkey.
is more tender.
Turkey is so.
Juicier.
Turkey is so dry and dull, and people are like, oh, just put gravy on it. People are like, oh, just put gravy on it. Just put gravy on it. Oh, if I wanted gravy, I just get a bowl of gravy.
Dude, if your turkey is dry, you're doing turkey wrong.
Nah, just turkey.
Whoever's turkey's supposed to be moist and not dry. Whoever's cooking your turkey is doing it terrible.
You should tell that to my family.
No, it's no.
If
you're eating white meat, turkey is dry as hell. Like it's not like.
Wait. So,
Again,
that leads me into my other question. This is for everyone. What kind of meat? Light meat
Dark.
or dark meat?
100% dark.
Question about that, Steve.
Yeah, it's everyone's. Listen. No. There's people that like dark meat, and there's people that get to the plate too late to get dark meat.
There are no. I mean, I don't disagree. Okay, yes. But there are legitimately some people who prefer white meat over dark meat.
Those people are wrong.
There's even I can understand that when you're going to like Popeyes because it's more meat.
What? You prefer white meat over dark meat?
If you're getting a turkey, you gotta go dark meat.
Well,
turkey,
I got some news for you guys. Where I have to break up with Vanessa because she likes white meat over dark meat. Sorry,
that's
Vanessa.
fair. That's fair. I understand.
Oh, so that's why our relationship ended. Okay.
Wait, you like white meat over dark meat as well?
Yeah.
What? What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people?
When did the
If you
VGRCast turn into couples therapy?
One, y'all white motherfuckers need to get some better cooks.
But
Two,
anyway, speaking of,
Two.
so to circle back to Steve, being like, what the fuck is tofurkey? So it's basically a tofu substitute for turkey.
So I've had tofu, and while while tofu isn't terrible by any means, personally I prefer real meat over tofu, but it'll work in a pinch as a substitute. So what's the difference between tofurkey and regular tofu?
In terms of the way it's prepared, seasoned, I truthfully don't know. I literally had to look up what the fuck it looked like to pick it up. So this
weird
is going.
Japanese magic.
Binging with Babish made a pizza ball? Sorry.
Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to.
Oh god.
Wait, is it tofu time with Nat?
But I was summoned by the question of what is the difference between tofu and tofurkey.
All right, let's
Okay,
hear it.
so
Let's hear it.
tofu is literally a block. It's basically literally just a squishy block of like
Soybean.
beans that have no flavor because tofu is literally a sponge. You add
Right.
your flavor to it. If you eat tofu straight, you're nuts. You're like episode 1 is better than nuts. Okay. But anyway, tofurkey is literally just like basically just like tofu that's been like shaped in like a general shape of a turkey that has some of the same like consistency without actually being turkey. That's the difference.
Kind of interesting. I'll have to maybe look into eating that
But
sometime. That
here's
sounds
the thing,
interesting.
though. Tofu is one of the toughest things to cook. It is so easy to get wrong. So,
The way
with tofu, it's kind of like saying, "Hey, I'm gonna like run out in the middle of a storm with a giant like lightning rod in my hand."
The way we've had it before is I think we've usually baked it into like a casserole instead of like just eating it like plain or whatever. And I gotta say, Vanessa is an absolutely excellent cook.
So you had a soybean casserole.
Now,
pretty much.
Now, Sarah,
it was good. I mean, again, personally, I prefer real meat just because of I like the texture of real meat better than tofu. But it's not like I wasn't eating it going just like, bleh, this is gross. No, it tasted fine.
I did know someone in high school who was a vegetarian, not because of any ethical or moral things, but because he just didn't like the texture of meat.
Fair.
Some people just don't like. It's like Vanessa and my brother both hate mushrooms. Like it's for Vanessa at least you texture, right? She doesn't like the texture, smell, or taste. So yeah, she hates mushrooms. So
okay, wrong.
I just never had mushrooms.
I love mushrooms. I used to hate mushrooms, now I
too.
love mushrms. But what I was gonna say is
kind of lukewarm about mushrooms.
where I was going with my whole turkey comment, and Sarah brings it back up. For me, Thanksgiving is 100% about the sides. Like the sides are the best part about Thanksgiving. Like I love
Gotta get that
stuffing.
green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole. Well, hold up.
Ooh,
Sweet
potatoes
potatoes.
are great.
Sweet potato casserole.
You go to an Italian Thanksgiving, you're getting 87 different kinds of pasta. You're getting ravioli.
Stuffing.
Like specifically 87 different kinds of pasta.
I mean, if you want to be fancy about it.
Is there like some years where it's like
Sweet
88?
potato casserole with brown cinnamon sugar and marshmallows on top. Ooh.
Gonna get that cranberry sauce.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, turkey is my least favorite meat, I think. Like, meh.
I still gotta disagree with you. I love me some turkey.
Throw it out. Just give me any other meat.
I don't
Okay,
I'll eat turkey. I like turkey, but it's my least favorite meat.
All right, so I got another question for you guys. I saw this on a Reddit thread actually, and it the original Reddit thread question was what is a food that you've always hated till you actually had it prepared right? And it just got me thinking about like how. So I've realized since I started dating Vanessa that my mother well, she's not like a bad cook or anything. Vanessa is just a much better cook than my mom because
Ooh.
Vanessa is celiac and she has to be a good cook because she cooks like 75% of her own food. So, because most restaurants don't cater to people who are gluten free. But so I back in the day when I when I still lived with my parents, I hated asparagus. Just couldn't
Same.
stand it. But
Wait,
like,
what?
'cause I hate asparagus.
Okay, wrong.
Well, no, hold on.
Well, okay, hold. So I was saying like the way my mom did vegetables was most of it was like steamed like broccoli and shit out of the bag, which has given me like a lifelong like not really aversion but like instant like distrust of cooked broccoli. Vanessa's made some absolutely amazing cooked broccoli and like cauliflower before, so I've learned to love those. But so I kind of assumed it was the same for asparagus because my parents cooked asparagus. But so Vanessa cooked some asparagus one time and I tried it. It had good taste to it, but I could still taste the asparagus underneath it, and I just don't like the taste of asparagus. It just tastes bad to me. It's
Well,
like
so
it's like some
You are
people
the weaker breed that
But
shall
what
be
was the
called.
point of that tangent there? Because the whole topic was food that had been prepared.
I'm
wrong.
drunk.
well, hold on. So I've got something along those lines.
Okay, but the
My-
Polish sausage.
Okay, but hold on. So my dad the first time I had asparagus was my dad cooked it, and he just like I think he just steamed it. Me and my brother would both hate it. We hated it. We refused to eat it. It was gross.
Who
Last
fuck up steamed asparagus?
hold on.
Steamed vegetables of any kind are fucking gross.
Well, hold
said it.
no. Like
Other than carrots.
steamed broccoli is great.
Right.
But so hold on. The whole thing is that, and then years later, my dad was like he started grilling asparagus, and grilled asparagus is like top notch, amazing. But even better is what he does is he'll take the stalks and he'll like put like it in like a measuring cup overnight and put like just like a little bit of soy sauce at the bottom. And what happens is the soy sauce goes up through the asparagus, and then he grills it, and it just becomes so good.
That's
What are
something to
the
try.
tips to
So
not
good.
having shit vegetables? Don't buy frozen shit.
Well, duh. But also,
That's when I was, single and living on my own. That's how I got my vegetables. But most of my vegetables was like frozen corn or frozen like
Dude, my
carrots
pants.
or like frozen like mixed vegetables. Like, and those are fine. They're not like offensive. I just can't do steamed broccoli because steamed broccoli is fucking gross.
you know what's great that I like that
Canned
Christine.
food, Steve.
You know what's great that I like that
Too much
Christine
salt.
doesn't. I like that Christine doesn't like is riced cauliflower or cauliflower
what?
rice. It's
Pardon?
cauliflower rice. It's essentially it's cauliflower that's been like cut up so small that it looks like rice, and it's essentially it's a rice substitute. So in other words, any recipe that calls for it, you can throw that in there, and I buy it frozen. But so like I had a taco bowl for lunch today. Instead of rice, I had cauliflower rice, and it was awesome. Because essentially it kind of just like takes on the flavor of what's ever around it, especially if you pour like a sauce or something onto it. So like when I had it, I put guacamole right on top of it, and I mixed it up with the guac, and then I put the meat and everything else on it, and it was really good.
Rice is way cheaper than cauliflower.
But it's way better for you.
After just consulting with Vanessa, if you're looking for a low carb alternative to rice, like cauliflower rice is your way to go.
Yeah, which is why I'm eating it.
Right.
I'm not going for a cost standpoint. I'm going for I don't want to be a fat fuck anymore.
Good luck.
That's why I'm eating cauliflower rice.
I've had enough wine where I'm willing to kind of just put this out on the table.
Oh, no.
I've always had a very difficult relationship with my body and my perception of my body, and there are things people have said that haven't helped over the years, and
I would like to formally apologize for that because I genuinely feel bad about that. I'm just putting that out there.
Gonna formally not accept your apology because that fucked me up and is still fucking me up for 3 years.
Again,
later. Anyway,
I would just like to say I do genuinely feel terrible about that, and I the apology is genuine. I hope you know that.
I'm sinking into my chair right now.
The point
Oh,
is, Kevin's a fat fuck.
Anyway,
The point is, Kevin, this isn't awkward for us. It shouldn't be awkward for you. Okay, it's a little awkward for me, but I'm also drunk, so.
shut up.
Should I
I
take my dick out to
disappeared.
make it less awkward?
No.
Oh wow!
Should I get Kevin banned from Twitch?
Kevin has disappeared from the camera. Wow, that's impressive.
But anyway, my point, that was not my point. My
Rebirth.
My
Ugh.
point being is that one of the things that has been really positive for me this year, well, a couple of different things. So the first thing is I've still been keeping up with working out with my mom, and while I still have eaten like shit and still have
Mood.
problems with that, that I've definitely gotten a lot stronger, and that's been something I've been very proud of. Like I
Strong.
can actually open jars by myself, guys.
Yay!
And then I'm drunk enough to do this. So sorry, y'all have to fucking deal with this. If you can deal with Mike being off the walls, you can deal with me drunkenly gushing about my boyfriend. So fucking deal.
Gross.
Are you saying I should drink more?
So anyway, the other thing that's really helped with my confidence and self-esteem, Nat has always been really body positive and amazing, and always tries to build me up and get me out of my head so I don't have those type of negative thoughts of I don't want to be a fat fuck anymore. Like that's one of the big things that he has single-handedly in the last year helped me a ton with just the way I perceive myself and making me feel beautiful in the skin that I'm in, regardless of where I'm at with my weight.
Nice.
Props to Nat.
Good job,
Cross.
Nat. To infinity and beyond.
Cross.
I don't have a drink. Raise a fist.
Fist.
Yes.
On that note,
What was I gonna talk about today? I don't
I
remember.
have absolutely no idea.
Some
I
kind of
was-
penis, probably.
So I'm on call right now, technically.
It's 10 o'clock, Kevin.
Well, yeah. Now
What?
now it's
Who's
late.
working?
Well,
How
no.
about
So
what company is actually having employees at their job right now? Like,
Besides retail,
I mean, okay, yeah. Besides, other than retail, and I don't think Kevin's company actually does retail, do they?
we have a couple retail clients.
Oh well, those what I know.
Well, so
Open mouth, insert
there's
foot.
there's a couple things that go into that. Well, so yes, at 10 o'clock, I probably wouldn't have to answer anything that happens right now. That being said, today at 5 o'clock, got a call from I'll call my supervisor, but he was like, "Hey, we need to get some hard drives out to this client." And I was like, "But it's 5 o'clock and it's long weekend time." And he's like, "Well, either you can do it or I can spend an extra hour and do it." And I was kind of like, ugh.
Fine.
So I went and did it. So I didn't get home until like 6:30.
Wait, he guilted your ass into doing it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, no, I mean,
Aw,
did
that's
you at least
cheap.
get paid
I
for
mean,
that extra time?
I'm salaried, so
Aw, that's
Dang
terrible.
so I mean, there are some on-call weeks that nothing happens. There's some on-call weeks that everything happens. But no, I mean, like we have a couple different clients that are open 365 days a year, no matter what day it is. Like we service a park district, so they're open every day of the year, even Christmas.
Is it the FBI?
Yes, it's the FBI, Mike.
I knew
So that sucked for me today.
Goddamn feds.
Yeah, I work for the feds. I support them. Please don't shut down my channel.
Okay, Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton.
Goddamn Federalist.
Supernatural
I'm so
ended.
glad-
Oh yeah, that's right.
Christine and I
Didn't
finished
that
it.
happen like
Don't
8
care.
times already?
Well, no. So last week was the series finale, and so Christine and I caught up a week after the series finale. So we watched it the other night. It was
I heard a lot of people said it was shit.
well, the actual last
That
episode
sounds
was
like
not.
the past 8 years of Supernatural.
I mean,
I don't know. Never watched it.
last
Don't intend
last episode
Sure
was
it's
definitely
fine.
kind of like I don't know. It felt very forced and very like, here's how we wrap up kind of thing. It was okay.
to. Like I've seen some pretty bad-ish finales. Like the Battlestar Galactica finale was not great. It was fine.
Actual question. Is there a good series finale that you guys can cite? Because every time a show ends, everybody talks about how shit the finale is.
Parks and Rec.
I've got about 80,000 anime I can.
Parks and Rec had a great series finale. Fuck, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Give me.
I haven't seen it, but people say Breaking Bad had a great finale, so
I didn't see it. I can't speak to it.
Neither did I.
Give me a couple of minutes and I'll think of something else.
I
But
would argue that The Sopranos had a good finale.
a lot
But
of
just
people
because the
disagree
black
with
and
you.
mid sent.
Yeah, I know. Yes, but there's a good purpose
know.
behind it, though. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I had a good example of one.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh
Yeah.
Brotherhood,
yeah.
specifically.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause,
Soul Eater. I'm kidding.
FMAO3, not so
Fuck
much.
off with your Soul Eater bullshit, Kevin. I know you're just shit posting right now, but fuck you for
Soul
saying
Eater
that
had a
anyway.
perfect ending.
Fuck
Nothing
you.
wrong with it.
Eat several dicks.
That's funny.
In fact, an entire bag of them.
I mean, it tis the season for eating because it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. I
Eat
don't
them
know. I'm
dicks.
drunk.
Can someone
Going to
pull
say-
up that picture of Adam Sandler from Uncut Gems? This is how I win.
Game of Thrones had a pretty good ending.
Also,
Many
suck a
people
fuck.
would dispute that.
I think
This
literally
post
everyone
is
would disagree with
disputed.
Everyone disliked that.
He snorted.
I don't know what the leftovers
man,
is.
I don't really finish many TV shows. Many of the TV shows I watch are still like ongoing right now. Like I know Arrow finished, but I haven't gotten caught up to that season yet.
Gravity Falls had a great ending.
Oh yeah, Gravity Falls. Holy shit, Gravity Falls is.
I would
great.
argue Futurama's ending was pretty good.
Which
Oh,
one?
Like the actual ending.
Star Wars Rebels had a pretty cool ending. I enjoyed that.
Which might get
Um,
resolved soon.
What, Star Wars Rebels?
Yeah, the whole Ahsoka thing.
Ahsoka wasn't really in the finale. It's
Oh,
more
really?
like. Does
I never
anyone
watched
give
Rebels.
a shit about
Nope.
spoilers
Yes.
for Rebels?
I might watch it one day.
Okay, because I won't spoil it then. Also, Kevin, if once you get to the Thrawn bit, if you want to borrow my Thrawn novels, the new ones, not the old ones, you're 100% welcome to, because the Thrawn novels are fucking dope. Thrawn is such a Mary Sue character, but you don't care because it's just so well done.
Oh, so I was going to mention earlier, we're totally off topic right now, but you were talking about Witcher 3 earlier.
Yes.
Someone, a dev for Cyberpunk, he said today in an interview that he's playing the game right now on the hardest difficulty, and he's kind of taking it slow. He's looting a lot, and he's playing it stealthy. He's kind of taking his time going through the game. He currently has 175 hours on one save file.
Like 200 hours into Fallout 4, but I think I did modded
That's
stuff.
too
so that
many
might
hours
be-
in Fallout 4.
Well, I got.
Yeah.
I have.
Even I
have.
can say that.
I like Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 was
Uh,
it was okay.
I enjoy. You know what? Y'all can suck a fuck. I liked Fallout 4. I am not changing my opinion.
That's
Oh,
fine.
that's the
That's
thing
your
I can talk
opinion.
about.
You can have
Not saying
opinions.
Fallout 76.
It is better than Fallout 76. I still
That's
think
the-
Fallout
Very hard to be
76
worse than
gets
that.
more hate than it deserves, but
That's-
we're not getting back into that topic again.
That's a thing I can talk about. Nat and I, we decided to play Pikmin. We started Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Oh, how's that?
We've been doing that co-op, and I really like the co-op for that because I
Get
I
that
didn't have a
co-op.
Wii U. I didn't play the original, so I have no comparison point.
Hey, Pikmin 3. Sorry, Pikmin 3 was on Wii U.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a newer game.
That Wii U isn't new, Mike. Wii U was back in like
yeah, they
2010.
re-released it for the Switch, which they did for all 3 of their really good Wii U titles.
Like a Redwood,
Mm.
Victoria.
Okay,
But
well,
anyway,
That
2013 is newer than other stuff.
Monica, have you played Luigi's Mansion 3?
I have not played Luigi's Mansion 3. No.
Vanessa was thinking about picking it up. I was wondering if you might recommend.
Is that the one on the
I-
Switch?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I played 2.
I obviously have played the first game,
Hmm.
and loved it. I watched an
Mansion
LP of Dark Moon, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I haven't seen or
biggest fan
heard
of
any
it?
height or hair of 3. So,
I've seen some gameplay of 3. It looks cool.
I
um,
can't really help you there.
Fair enough.
All I know is that Pikmin 3 does have some pretty good intuitive co-op. So if you or Vanessa are into that RTS style thing and won't kill each other over it, that might be a good game for you guys to
It's
get going.
co-op, right?
Yes, you can play the story mode co-op.
Okay, we'll definitely add that to the list.
And
I've been told that Pikmin 3 is good for co-op gameplay.
And although there's, because the whole thing with Pikmin 3 is because with each Pikmin game, the number of Pikmin game is the number of captains you have. We're in the beginning of the game, and there's 3 of the captains, and one of them's a girl. And while we're playing, Nat's I love you, darling. His ADHD really kicked in and was just kind of going off because he was playing the female captain. And he just kept screaming, "I'm my own lady!" and just wandering around. And I'm like, "Come back here!
Mood.
I'm my own lady." So it's been fun. It's been fun. Would recommend.
We tried out this game called Degrees of Separation, which is like a co-op puzzle game where one character
Fire and
is
Ice?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of bad.
Okay, thank you for saving me money.
I don't buy it
Because I saw that on the Switch store and I was like, oh, this looks cute.
We had genuine trouble figuring out puzzles, and I don't know if it's like a Metroidvania style, like you can only solve certain puzzles if you get certain abilities. It wasn't super clear on it, so we didn't really rage quit, but we haven't played it in like a couple months or so.
Oh, that's bad.
It's not. We probably won't be going back to it. We gave it like 2 play sessions, and we're just like, this isn't good. It's not well designed.
This game is bad.
Well, here's the thing. Either it's poorly designed, or we're really dumb.
Mm.
Or it could be a combination of the two. Cause like, I'm not bad at puzzle games. Like, I don't really do a whole lot of puzzle games. Like, my only experience with puzzle games is like the Portal games. So I don't know.
Sorry, Nat. I haven't played a lot of Destiny 2. I bought it when it came out, and I had fun in it for a little bit, but
I think I have Destiny 2 somewhere around here. I've been meaning to pick it up at some point. I just need to like find time to get through my backlog first. I have such a giant backlog.
Tell me when you do
No
start it.
backlog, only more game.
And
Oh,
yes,
God,
Nat,
yes.
I've heard Diablo 3 is really good couch multiplayer. I have it on the Switch and everything.
Yeah, we did a run of Diablo 3, and we finished that up maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Would
And
recommend.
that was really fun.
I want to get Hades.
I've
been hearing really good things about Hades.
Yeah, I just heard of that game existing maybe a few days ago.
Sorry, Nat, we don't play on PS4.
Wolf.
That being said, oh wait, where'd Ryan go? Oh, there's Ryan.
Still here.
Okay. I think that's a good wrapping up point. Any last minute thoughts,
I'm gonna
comments?
fuck your fish.
Please don't. Monica, say the line.
What line?
Remember the mean thing you wanted to say?
Oh, yeah. I bet it would be easy for you because your dick is small.
Got him!
Doesn't matter. Got laid. Gatorade. Dead fish.
Later version.
So okay, hold on a second. So wait, did you have this conversation while I was gone earlier?
Yes.
Okay, I was
But
about to
before the
say,
stream, Monica was like, "I don't want to say it because it's too mean." And I'm like, "Monica, you should say it." But
have you met us? We're very mean to each other.
and
in a
now
long way.
and now that and now that Monica's slightly intoxicated, I was like, "Oh, maybe she'll say it." All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Another
This is how I win.
another successful podcast, I would say. Make sure you're following so you know when I go live next. No stream tomorrow as usual because it's Thursday. Friday I'll probably
Also,
be live.
it's Thanksgiving. Go eat turkey and don't watch.
Go eat
don't
sides.
wait.
Go eat sides.
Or
Watch the
turkey.
Lions get destroyed. Hopefully.
Sure, I don't know.
I'll be live again probably Friday with something, and then probably Saturday with something. We'll probably play God of War on Friday with Christine. So make sure you're following. Dad of Boy will make a return.
I think Dad of War just sounds funnier.
They're both funny. So
Dad of Boy is
Boy.
factual. Dad of War is funnier.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another podcast on our regular Tuesday probably, where we will show off our final beard results because it'll be the first of the month. It looks like I'm gonna lose.
This is how I win.
This is how he wins.
You, Mike.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna come inside your cichlids.
I don't have cichlids.
Wow.